NFM Radio. NFM Radio.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. CK Man. Beautiful, beautiful song. I remember, I think most of you do as well. This song, them were the days that we danced to this such beautiful, beautiful song by CK Man and his troupe. Anyway, now let's get on to the business of talking about Ghana. As we speak, let me welcome you people onto Facebook and the social media, YouTube as well. So if you want YouTube, just go to New Face Media. It's one word, New Face Media, YouTube. And if you want to go Facebook, NFM Radio. That's all, NFM Radio. Very soon, we will be launching our New Face Television, the television side or the television department will soon be on your channel. So take note. Anyway, so as we speak, Akufo-Addo, our president, is going around everywhere and talking. He's good at that, talking about what he feels people want to hear. The guy has been schooled to know the sentiments of people. So he goes for the headlines. He goes to say things. Then media people elsewhere will pick it up. Oh, the president is speaking sense. But believe me, the guy doesn't mean a word he says. Now he's telling African leaders to be serious with agriculture. Jesus Christ, Akufo-Addo, agriculture no eduane ebu okrom Ghana. Yes sir. Eduane gugu warehouse bebre ma ye sporty bi kra. Yes sir. Akufo-Addo. Jesus Christ. So as we speak, he's going around, telling everybody, trying to convince everybody how the IMF has brought in some money. So for now, they are free again to go and borrow. The previous monies we've borrowed, believe me, that has not been paid, or it is something obviously we cannot pay. But he, Akufo-Addo, doesn't care. In fact, the rumors going about is that very soon the Chinese will leverage on some of our establishments or the institution that makes some money or brings about some monies, like the mineral department or the deposit. The minerals that have not been uprooted from the ground, that has not been mined, very soon it will be owned by Chinese or China. Then apparently the electricity corporation and the rest. You see, the thing is, Akufo-Addo borrowed that money. If he had used the money to build some serious heavy infrastructure that can bring some returns, make some monies, if the Chinese should seize that one, at least we know, by and by, the debt will be cleared and the property becomes, ours. But Akufo-Addo didn't, invest in any tangible sort of adventure, anything that can bring money. So the Chinese, if they want their monies back, they have to find something else to seize. And today, I read somewhere Akufo-Addo saying he doesn't really mind or he doesn't care if let me see if I can find it, if the Chinese it gets involved in Ghana's economy. You see, the way he put it, Chinese don't just get involved. Oh. When they get involved, it means they are making the monies at your expense. The fact that Chinese system is based on centralized sort of administration, the center tells the whole nation what to do and how to do it. They are only, what do we call it, returns, or their only expectation is that you should try and bring profit, make money for everybody else. And so everybody loves money. The Chinese people are making loads of money and spending it in their country, and some poor ones are also getting little by little some of the monies. In Ghana, we've blindly and foolishly adopted some school of thought that it's all about the private sector. The private sector drives the growth of economy. The private sector, look, if I have money, big one, to go and invest in Ghana, you do invest in something that can bring you returns quickly. I wouldn't spend, let's say, 50 million or 100 million of my money to say I'm building a harbor, or I'm building a railway station, or I'm buying trains, that sort of thing. No. It is the government who have to indulge in heavy duty infrastructure. Then the civilian, the private sector may be given chunks of it to manage, like they do here in the UK. Most things are being managed privately, but it's still being heavily subsidized. For instance, the public transportation. The public transportation system, if it was left with the private, in the hands of pure private ownership, nobody could have, afford, transport in London or elsewhere in UK. But because it's centralizing here, the mother of all capitalism, still, it is a bit centralized. It's being controlled by central government and partly by the local government. In Ghana and some parts of Africa, our mind is all about, the private sector. And meanwhile, when the Osagefo had built industries and we decided to even sell it to ourselves, to the private sector, we still managed to mismanage it. So you see the whole conundrum. They said the private sector drives up the economy and everything. So Osagefo has built industries, right? Now, okay, when it's in the public domain, people are not working quickly, they are not working hard enough, they don't want to come to work because it's a public utility, this and that, management is a bit relaxed, the unions are too strong and blah, 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 so they give it to private sector. And still, they mess it up. Look, the type of economy that we have adopted, the type of economy which says that it's just like banking here in the UK, when they look at your salary or your wages, then they can afford to lend you a certain amount of money. That means you are good to go. No, as a country, we shouldn't depend on the generosity that some bond markets will offer us loans. That means we are doing well. No. You see, those countries that brought about or devised these ways of practicing this sort of economy, where it is lend, borrow, use, pay back, lend, borrow, use, pay back. They didn't have anything to sell, any proper thing to sell, apart from the fact that the industrial revolution started in their countries. They started making things, scientific things, engineering things, and they were selling it. Now, when it came to the point that it's not only Europeans that can manufacture things, other areas started manufacturing. Now the competition was high. So they had to come out with these service industries where it is all about money, paper money, and electronic money. They control the rules, the regulation, the laws regarding everything. at expense. So when you want to be in, it's all about making money from nothing. Really, that's what they do. We have the goods to sell. We have everything. So why do we have to also adopt this same sort of economics, which I call the casino economy? The casino economy. You go, oh, your credit rating is good. We will borrow you money. Knowing very well that, you see, the annoying thing too is that when these monies are borrowed to our people, usually, like the people like Akufo-Addo and his government people, usually the monies are not looked after properly, usually. So the people don't gain, we don't benefit at all. It's now 1 minute past 8 o'clock here in London. Let me see if I can get Mr. Adikoka. If he's ready, we'll get him to come and tell us why his outburst. So let me put in the music. I'll come back and straight away our discussion, our interview, our conversation with Mr. Adesoya will start. Thank you, OCB, sir. I love this music. But now, OCB, if you pardon me, we need to talk politics. Mr. Adesoya, good evening, sir.
Adekoka, not Adesoya.
Oh, Jesus Christ. you know that I get Adesoya for London here.
That's right.
Hello, Olele. Oh, Jesus Christ. Some senior boy who, I mean, those days Accra Academy. And there's my very good friend. Anytime we are talking about Nkrumah and the rest. So
that's right.
Anytime I say the first thing that comes is, oh, he had. Meanwhile, I'm looking at your name. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mansa Musa.
That's right.
Anyway, welcome to NFM Radio.
That's right. Good evening. How are you?
We are very well. I hope you are also not doing badly at all.
By His grace, by His grace, by His grace.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Anyway, the reason I've called you is that not long ago, 3, 4, 5 days, I think so, ago, you sent out a message, certain comments, very deep, that Ghanaian politicians will have to wake up and smell the coffee. They have to leave their comfort zones and go elsewhere to see that it looks as if some parts of the country, the people don't belong to that country called Ghana. My question to you is, what have you seen that is different from what I saw in the 80s in all those places? Are you saying that things have not changed at all?
Let me say good evening to yourself and your listeners and viewers as well. Ghana, for 67 years, has looked like only Accra, maybe the capitals, Accra, Kumasi, and then Takoradi, and then you say you are in Ghana. But when you traverse the country, when you make an effort, and you leave Accra and go beyond Accra and you go into the hinterlands, you realize that we have let our people down. The level of degradation, the level of poverty, I mean, it's unbelievable. The roads that most of our people, majority of our people in the rural areas traverse on, the kind of water they drink, the land, this Galamsey, what the Galamsey has done to our forest reserves is unbelievable. And you see, we politicians, we sit in Accra and we do our politics and we think that's it, that's the end of it. So I believe that it's about time our politicians got off their comfort zone and ensure that before you want to rule this country, you should stop using the helicopters and the aeroplanes and that kind of, and go on the roads and go into the hinterlands and have an informed opinion of what you want to do when you are given power. It's very, very important. Most of us are in our comfort zones, sit in Accra and we talk, we go on the radio, television, and make all manner of noises. But the work is in the villages. The work is in the district. We've created we've created so many districts. So many, over 270 districts in this country. And when you go there, there's absolutely no development. Absolutely. And I had the opportunity to do that with President Mahama. And my perception about politics, I believe that, Accra, Ghana is so developed. We see the green lights, and we see the neon lights, and we see all those things, the capital cities. But when we go beyond that, we are in serious crisis. Hello?
Oh, yes, go ahead.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
So my question is, you see, I started by saying that me in my day in the 80s, when we were following the old man, Rollins, so to speak,
Yes.
we went to so many of these places. And
Yes.
those years, we would say by Jimmy Bray or ancient times a little bit,
Yes, yes.
Are you saying that things are even getting worse?
Very much so. Very much so. You can't believe it. We were using good cars, but my brother, you can't believe it. Look, most of our rural areas, the roads are such bad that when children are going to school, they have to walk miles. The water you see them drinking, they are sharing their water with cows and sheep and all manner of animals. And today, 21st century in Ghana, majority of our people in the rural areas are living in thatched houses, mud houses. I mean, you want to go and see, and most of the rivers, almost all the rivers that we cross are all contaminated. They are all polluted. So I was wondering, where are they having their water from? As for Galamsey, as for the degradation of the land, it's unbelievable. So Ghana probably is developed in the cities, right? But when you go out there, the rural areas, there's nothing home to write about, and it's very serious. And I mean it. And I mean it's about time we politicians, everybody gets up and stop concentrating on the asphalt roads in Accra and Kumasi and those places. The people in the villages don't need asphalt roads. They need just roads that are motorable. That is all that they need. They need water. They need decent accommodation. There's a lot to be done in this country, and we have dissipated our funds in such a way that we have now gone to the IMF, and the conditionalities that they have imposed on us will further worsen the plight of our people in this country.
So one is tempted to ask that, how come that the people who are disadvantaged, they still, we all have adopted this multi-party democracy. So one would have thought that by now, people should be very savvy in politics, and that when I vote for somebody, is that he promised to bring water, good roads, maybe a hospital, sanitation, even to our localities. If these things are not happening, why do you think people are still, how do I say it? I don't want to use the word foolishly. But why are they still following particular type of politics?
I ask the same question. Look at the recent elections in Kumewu. When you listen to the people, why are you going to vote for MPP? And they say because an account party. Me are Kenny, so I'm going to vote for an account party. And then they give you 50 CDs, and then you go and vote for them. I mean, we are, because we have human feelings, we are feeling for them. But it seems that the people themselves are not feeling for themselves. Because I kept asking, we want to Ashanti region, we want the strongholds of this MPP. And I asked myself, they continually vote for the MPP. And nothing is being, for the past 7 years. nothing has been done to improve the lives of these people. And yes, that's the question. Our politics has become tribalistic, and that's the problem. That is worrying this. We have become too tribalistic. If you're an account person, instead of you raising up that I have to change, I have to have a paradigm shift, a serious paradigm shift in my political thinking, because he comes and is your tribes person, you vote for him without thinking about how you are living in your neighborhood. And this is what is killing this country. This is what we should. The days of Kwame Nkrumah came and said, regardless of where you are coming from, right? You are a Ghanaian. Unfortunately, we seem to be losing that thinking, and people are rather voting on tribal lines, which is not good for development in this country. So you are always taking for a ride. Go, whether I develop or I don't develop the place, at the end of the day, they'll vote for me. This is what the youth of today, who are the majority of voters, must have a paradigm shift. It's very, very important. We must be talking about this so that people change their attitude towards the way we are doing politics in this country.
Apart from the tribal sentiments or affiliations, will you agree that the loss of discipline in the general, in society has also contributed to this sort of behavior that now, in my day, when they say kalabule or someone is being corrupt, it's all very secret. They do it underhand. It's not done in public. But now, it seems nobody cares. People know that officialdom is stealing. People are thieving. And nothing can be, will be done to them. So are we, me and you, who are we to blame somebody who will live on, let's say, 10 cedis for 2 days? If someone is coming to give him or her 50 cedis, why wouldn't he take it?
Yeah, because you see, the system has been bastardized. The poverty levels has turned most people into beggars. That's the problem. As to how we are going to have this change of attitude, is because civil society, the people who have to talk, people who have to hold people to respond, have all been compromised, right? So that's the problem. People have been compromised in this country, so that they are not saying the truth. They are not telling the people the truth. Everybody has gone quiet. So if that man is stealing and nobody is saying anything about him, why don't I also go and steal? Because nobody will say anything about it. And that is what is destroying this country. The level of corruption, and people have just accepted. It seems that in Ghana, people have accepted the word corruption. So everybody is waiting to get in a position where they can also be corrupted. And that is what is happening. That is what people like me and you must rise up against.
Do you think, Mr. Coker, this level of negativity cuts across, all party barriers? Because I was given a clip where I saw one Ghana woman. She was very furious that she's been at the police station since morning, and after your NDC primaries, they were promised £40 cedis for transport. In any big scheme of things, it's not much money, but I think those people needed the money. This woman said she has waited the whole day. It looks as if somebody wanted to frustrate them so that they get angry, they get annoyed, go away, and he or she will pocket the money. This sort of attitude is everywhere now, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with you. The impunity. Because nobody is being punished for this kind of acts, so people think they can get away with it. I agree with you in NDC. Recently, we're having challenges of a similar situation in Accra, where people are claiming the money that were supposed to be to facilitate their movement. Because if you are bringing somebody from afar to come and vote, at least the person must be given something to buy water. And people who were charged to do that rather decided that they were going to do haircuts, or they were going to decide who and who they should be given, so that they pocket the rest. And that's what I'm saying. People have corruption seems to have been sanctioned or have been accepted by everybody, that everybody now does what he or she wants, and nobody is cracking the whip. The last time I asked, when are we going to crack the whip? Who is going to bail the cat? Because from the elite down, everybody has now accepted that. Well, when you are caught, that will be done to you, and that is worrying. I agree with you. It's worrying. That is why I said politicians should get out of their comfort zone and look at the reality and develop this country, so that this level of corruption that is going to destroy our society. Because if everybody is well off, everybody is satisfied, you cannot have an utopian society.
No.
But then we should be able to ensure that we are doing things that will not let the people go into abject poverty. For them to be accepting peanuts, you understand? For them to accepting things that are not necessary. People should be given opportunity to be able to do things that they themselves will have to rise from where they are. But we are not doing that in this country at the moment. It's worrying.
Self-respect is completely gone. You are listening to Mansa Musa. I'm with my colleague and Keda as well. Speaking all the way from Accra, Mr. Adekoka. He used to be the Greater Accra chairman of the NDC. If you want to ask a question or make a contribution, just call the studio numbers. I think you all know it already. Let me ask you, you mentioned cracking the whip and everything. Then my question is, your party itself, why have you decided to make your main focus for next election on the economy? You say you are going to fight the election on the economy. Why not rather fight it on corruption? Because everyone will tell you that if we are able to reduce corruption for, 40 to 50%, the economy will stand well. Ghana will be better off, even if we reduce, because the economy itself, we don't control it. Unfortunately, it's being controlled from outside. But if we are able to reduce corruption, as they say, Ghana will be fine. So why is your party not, propagating, sending the message that, hey, we know even in our time, things were done, maybe mistakes here and there. But now, the indiscipline is destroying the very fabric of this, our nation. Coming from a party that was led by J.J. Rawlings, why is your party also quiet on corruption?
Well, currently, I agree with you. You can talk about the economy and at the same time talk about corruption. They are bedfellows, because if you don't crack down on corruption, where will you get the resources to develop the country? So they are bedfellows. So I believe that this is unfortunately for us now, it seems that people are beginning to accept that corruption should be not on the banner, but the economy. And I agree with you. So this is something that we should all open our eyes and see how best we can focus on it. I agree with you.
The reason the tactics or the strategy is this: that whenever you mention economy, Akufo-Addo and his brothers with their media is so strong for them to rebuff or to pretend as though the economy has fallen not because of their mismanagement. They are defending themselves on the corruption, on the economy side. But when you mention corruption, they are not going to be able to defend themselves. I mean, after all, nobody can say that it's because of COVID we are corrupt or because of Ukraine war. So why? That's what I'm saying. NDC should be much particular. And also, you see, when you are very honest with what you say, the humility, you come across as genuine when you say, hey, in our day, we maybe did some few things wrong. But now, the way we are going, this country will turn upside down. So when we come, we will act. We will make sure at least half of the money that has been taken will be brought back to help us. You know, that strong message is needed.
If you listen to what President Mahama did internally, he spoke about all these things. That when we come, we are going to strengthen the anti-corruption institutions, and also we are going to make sure that we are going to set up an access retrieval committee to look into those things. So it is part of it will be part of our agenda. We are not going to sleep over it. And he said even if his ministers or appointees are engaged in corruption, he will deal with it. So it is not something that we are not going to talk about. That's why I said corruption and the economy, they are bad fellows. Because if your system is corrupted, how can you revive your economy? So it's something that definitely we are going to be serious about it, because most of the
NFM
looting
Radio.
that has been done in this country must be retrieved. So we are not going to abandon corruption in our political discourse.
Still within your party, the Asin North by election.
Yes.
Let me ask you, I know you are not a constitutional lawyer, but somebody asked a question, I think 3 days ago here on my show, that if they say Jachikwa's question is, not eligible, he shouldn't have been an MP. So what becomes of the speaker then? Because his number, I'm sure, helped the speaker to be elected. So if he wasn't to be in the parliament in the first place, as per the, the Supreme Court ruling, that means the speaker's, position becomes untenable as well, or?
And the same applies corruption. The time that he also took part in the vetting of the justices, the Supreme Court justices, and all those kids. You see, the ruling is right today at the vetting of the new nominated Chief Justice. Such line of question arose that if he said we should expunge his name from Parliament, then are you saying we should go and expunge his name on all the activities that he has taken part in, which is inclusive of vetting Supreme Court justices and Appeal Court justices and all those kind of things. You understand? So it's a very dicey question, and that must be answered by those who pronounce the judgment. You understand? It's very important that your question is very legitimate. So everything that he has done since he has been in Parliament, if he's been expunged, the budget that he sat in, all the things that are null and void. So it's a very tricky issue. And the Chief Justice said, well, people, if they want clarity, they should come to the Supreme Court and seek clarity. So you are right. Sometimes we do things and the consequences, we realize that later on it's going to haunt all of us.
So I don't get that answer. That if we want to seek clarity, where is that clarity coming from? That the man's job in the Parliament has ceased from the very day he entered the Parliament. He shouldn't have been there, and apparently he's going to face some criminal charges. So his work too should be affected, isn't it?
Yes. So that is what we are saying. So those who gave the verdict have been called upon. It came up at the vetting today, and so we are all waiting to see, because even the orders that they've given, the electoral commissioner agreed that he's qualified to contest an election. You understand? The electoral commissioner who agreed has not even been spoken to. Have not been. So this is something that, as the days go by, let us interrogate it. But I cannot give an answer, because like you said, I'm not a constitutional lawyer,
Sure.
but common sense tells me that there are certain things that when you do, you rather create problems for yourself.
The same as enough. It looks, in sports parlance, you say this team is on a roll. NPP will feel that they can do anything they like these days, because like the starving chicken, when you drop some corn, all of them will follow you. Are you people not in danger of losing that seat as well if by-election should take place?
You see, we have to tread carefully in this country. We have to tread cautiously. We shouldn't use undue and unnecessary advantage to skew the system. Look, countries have gone down the tube because of such behaviors. I'm saying that the Supreme Court has to revisit the decision that they've taken. But I believe that for the Asin seat, I can assure you, all the antics that the MPP will put in place, this particular seat, NDC we are going to use whatever means it takes to ensure that that seat, it never goes into the hands of MPP. That I can assure you. That I can assure, because we are all in this country and we all breathe the same air in this country. And all of us, if we have to do and die for that Asin seat, if the Supreme Court does not come back to tell us something different, Mansa Musa, I'm assuring you, on that day, on that fateful day, believe that Ghana probably will turn around. We are not going to sit down for them to come and take that seat. Use unnecessary, undue, unmitigated, Takashi, let me use the word Takashi, and those kind of come and take that seat. It will not happen.
The point here is, it's not just about they taking the seat, but the consequence of the NPP on the Kufuor losing, gaining full control in parliament. Imagine he wants to go and borrow and borrow and borrow. Whilst the country becomes poor or poorer, his family becomes richer. This is something even the NPP, some of them should be considerate enough. They should be thinking about, the way things are going, isn't it?
Master Musa, I know for a fact that the good people in MPP, when I say good, I mean people who are not in the thinking of this Achi Mafia, right, are worried about what this government is doing to their party. Because if they are not careful, let's wait for their primaries. If you are not careful, there will be an implosion in the party, because people are not happy. This is not a party of the Daroches, Petalajetes, Nyauta Maklus. There are people there. So, my brother, I don't think we are on a public platform, and sometimes you have to be very careful with the things you say. But I believe that we will not sit down. And they cannot continually go a borrowing. They can't.
Let me finish with your NDC, then we'll come to the national issue. You see, I said, let me finish with the NDC. And another issue that, to me, you guys need to start conversation is a running mate. At least let me finish. The quiet, but the very loud discussion under the table is that Mahama needs a younger, vibrant, politically savvy, follower, either man or a woman, going forward. I don't know what you think about this. No. We just came out of presidential primaries. Yes.
We have to sit down and appoint. There are certain positions in the parties that must be appointed. We must get our house right,
including a running mate.
Yes, so let us do this step by step. We don't want to bamboozle ourselves into this topic.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure Mansa Musa was suggesting that you should bamboozle. I said the conversation got to start, innit? That
no, the conversation will start at the appropriate time. Now we have certain things on our banner which you must address. When you address, you don't run before you walk. You understand? You don't run before you walk.
Yes.
We have from experiences, we need to do certain things, put those things in perspective.
Yes.
After we've done that, then we can have a conversation.
I agree. I agree with you with all what the explanation, which is it's a very sound explanation you have given, but your own perspective. For me, I think Mahama will need a younger running mate. What do you think?
I'm not prepared to answer that question this evening. I said let us.
Did you hear the almighty, all fearless Adekoka running away from feeble Mansa Musa? I
know where you are coming from. So I'm saying hasten slowly. Hasten slowly. We will get there at the appropriate time. This is not the time to be speculating or no. We will get there when the conversation starts. I'm sure you call me and ask me of my opinion, and I will gladly give it to you.
When it comes to it, I can favor Zeneta. I can favor one man called Tamaklo Leslie. I am not yet. I'm also fit to be a vice presidential candidate. Hey, I was going to mention that. Look, this post should come to younger people like you, and you didn't let me finish. You see?
Don't mention my name, I beg you.
But you want Zita Benson, some tough guys within the NDC that you can choose from. But you shouldn't choose anybody above the age of 60. Look, I will tell you for truth.
You don't want us. Let's move on to something else, Mansa.
Okay, but I have every right to suggest something, don't I? Or you are banning me from even talking. Are you going to behave? Are you going to behave like a Kufuado?
I'm banning you from talking about it because it's not yet time.
Are you? Anyway, so let's move on then. Let's move on. Greater Accra. How many seats do you have now?
20 seats.
Out of how many?
Out of 34.
Seriously speaking,
that's the legacy I left the region.
Very good. Clap for yourself. Look, seriously speaking though, do you want to safeguard what you've got, or you think you can gain more?
Well, currently there's a lot of confusion in the Greater Accra region. The regional executives are up in arms. You mean
within the NDC?
Yes.
What a shame! I didn't know that. I thought we had problems only. I thought you have problems only in the UK.
No, in Greater Accra, the same thing. I mean, the executives are now up in arms, and that is very worrying. And when they are up in arms, it sends wrong signals. And I'm hoping that the national executives and the leader of the party will look into the happenings of Greater Accra. I left the Greater Accra in peace, one piece. Now it's in pieces, and it's degenerating. And if we don't do that, it will be difficult even to protect the 20 seats that you are talking about. That's the first problem.
I like your candidness in this conversation, in this regard. Seriously, because is it the reason why Ashimor doesn't want to speak to anybody? Because I've tried him several times. He wouldn't even respond to or reply to my calls.
Well, I don't know about that, but when you call me, I will speak to you.
Do you think the changes that were made? Did you concur with it? Were you part of the changes, or you think you were forced out?
It was unfortunate. The changes were done because people were paid money. People's conscience were bought. And that has led us to where we are today. That there's turmoil because, we have laid a foundation, the foundation of having 20 seats and winning the presidential election. And we needed, at least I believe that my leadership to continue for us. But God works in mysterious ways. Maybe God said that they step aside because people think, having been there for 12 years, our country here, in America, Feinstein has been a senator for over decades. And she's still there, even though she can't even walk, she's still there. But in this part of our world, after 12 years, but what they forget is that you have got a wealth of experience. You have gathered experience over the 12 years that you need to ensure that it is imparted on people. But if somebody just gets up and with money is voted for, and all of a sudden you realize that leadership is a quality that is not money cannot buy leadership. You understand? And then there's turmoil. So this is why you go and do your call various executives in Greater Accra and talk to them. You need to do that. Then you appreciate what I'm saying. It's very painful for me to be speaking that way. But when you build a house and you leave it for your children and they can't even paint the house, it becomes a problem. So I believe the leadership of the party, national level, must come down to Greater Accra and resolve these issues and look at how best, because it is degenerating very fast. And I fear for the consequences. When the head is rotten, then the body in other places will start smelling. And that is where I think your question as to whether we will be able to maintain the 20 seats will be dependent on what sanity is brought into the region. Then we can have to look beyond the 20 seats.
The inactivity or the lack of action, where is it coming from? Is it Fifi Quarter's fault?
No.
Fifi Quarter. No, the tea is now brewing. So I hope when it starts boiling over, then people have to step in. But I believe they don't have to wait for the tea to be brewing before they step in. They have, I'm sure people are listening from Accra, and people are listening, and I hope they will hear my voice and they will do the needful. Because they know me as Wadekoka. When it's white, it's white. When it's black, it's black. And I'm happy with that. So somebody must be listening from Accra, and I hope they are listening to your program, and they should do the needful so that we salvage Greater Accra. A lot of them usually do listen, and I have to say that this. Hello, can you hear me?
Your line is breaking.
You can hear me now, can't you?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
What I said was, this interview, honestly speaking, I didn't even write my questions down. And I have been taken aback from what I've heard from you. Because you are from Accra, you were the previous chairman. That's why I asked you. I didn't know there was so much trouble brewing already. And the question is, what are people waiting for? Why is it that it looks as if somebody told me the other day, say, look, everybody wants to follow Mahama. Everybody wants to follow Mahama. So if Mahama's attention has not been drawn or is not ready to sort out Greater Accra, that means you guys are leaving things to fester, isn't it?
Well, I said it's early days yet. We just finished the presidential primaries. He's out of the country now, and I think when he comes back, people will move to inform him if he's not aware. But I'm sure by now he's aware. So let's wait for the leader of the party to come, and then we see what can be done with matters in Greater Accra. Yeah, I'm sure the party is aware by now, because today and yesterday the things that have gone on air in Accra between the regional secretary and other parties, I think we are all aware of it. So let's see what the powers that be will do going forward, because everybody is worried about the happenings in Greater Accra.
Apart from Greater Accra, what are now I have to ask you if you know of any other area, let's say any other region. I'm sure even in the Volta region, you have some problems. What can you tell me about the state of affairs with the NDC in other regions?
Oh, I had the privilege of going around with the president in his campaign tour, and I see the fire in the belly of most of the executives in other regions and the branch executives. There's a willingness to work together, and that much. So I can say that we just have to keep the momentum going in those areas. We have to keep the momentum going on. Naturally, it's a human institution. There might be one or two skirmishes here and there, but the sooner you nip them in the bud, the better.
Well, you see, some of us or many people outside of the core NDC, what we call it, umbrella, the core NDC group, many of us will think that, your problems is all in part of, let's say, Eastern region and Ashanti. So for you to now tell us that you have problems in Greater Accra, even when and where at the moment the living standard, cost of living is making so many Ghanaians, angry with the MPP. If there is a problem in Greater Accra, really, it is not. It won't augur well, innit? It's not something that.
That is why we need to, as a party, leadership must rise to the occasion. That is it. We have got almost a year and a half to go for elections. Within the next few months, weeks, days, we should be able to put Greater Accra in order. And I think it will permeate. If you sweep it under the carpet, that is why I'm bold enough to talk about it. Being that I'm the immediate past chairman of the region, and I need to have this opportunity to alert officials to wake up and quickly nip what is happening in the bud. Very important.
On the national level, the story about our economy, everybody knows. There's a lot of noise coming from, I don't know.
I'm at a function and I come out of
it. Okay, fair enough. Okay, let's plod on. No problem. Listen, sometimes you can't win every time. Everybody should have their say. Listen, on the national level, the economy.
Yeah, ready or no?
Okay, yeah. Thank you. The economy is all what everyone is talking about. We have spoken about corruption and everything. Realistically, if you look at their personalities, the people involved, people who want to be their flag bearer, among the Baumiers and the Akoto Osei and Kennedy Japan, Boache Jakon, Alan Tremantin, and the rest of them. Who do you think will be a walkover for NDC, and who do you think will be a formidable task for the NDC?
So I don't believe in walkovers and people who are formidable. I believe that these people have contributed to the failure, the abysmal failure of this country. And I'll be surprised if Ghanaians will want to vote for these people again. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Now we are, the economy is a junk economy. We are in the pit. You understand? And these are characters who, for the past 7 years,
NFM Radio.
have taken us to that level. Why should the right-thinking good people of Ghana entrust our destiny into their hands again? You understand? You ask me why would they want to trust their destiny to Mahama? I'll tell you why. Mahama borrowed 56 billion cedis, and he can count the number of developments that has taken place all over the country. Look, when we went on this tour, the feeder roads, the roads that I'm talking about that will serve our brothers and sisters in the hinterlands, were all awarded. This government comes and just put a stop to all of them. So if they are inclined to have the country's resources to go waste in the hinterlands and even in the national level, why should somebody be formidable and why somebody should be easier to have a walkover? No, the whole country must rise up to tell them in the face that their days are numbered and they must go. So I don't believe who is formidable or who is a walkover. I believe none of them deserve to be formidable and none of them deserve to be walked over.
Understand where you, how you can rate their contenders. Who do you think is likely to emerge as their leader?
Mansa Musa, I honestly, as a politician, I don't think about them because they failed the nation.
But you must.
I said already.
But you must.
No. They failed the nation. No. Any of them can come. Any of them can come. They failed the nation. Any of them can come. They failed the nation. Any of them. Who cares about them? They should. We are going to measure whether they bring Baumia or they bring Alan or they bring Ajipon. The people who vote against them. So I'm not here to rate this person or that person. They are all failures. They are part of a government that has failed this country. So what ratings you want me to give them? Zilch.
What do you say on the emerging consensus that NDC, including Rawlings himself, didn't do much of infrastructure in, let's say, Volta region? Apart from maybe Greater Accra, most of the NDC infrastructure was in Ashanti. Now, people are openly coming out to say, hey, guys, maybe when you guys come to power, you should try and look after other people and maybe leave Ashantis to themselves. What do you say to that?
Mansa Musa.
Yes, sir.
We should be able to develop this. Every Ghanaian in this country pays taxes. Every Ghanaian must enjoy the resources of this country. We are all Ghanaians. This is what I'm talking about earlier on. You see, if you start being tribalistic, you know, we couldn't put KJJ market in Ho because Ho is such a small place that you cannot put KJJ market there. So if you go and put KJJ market in Kumasi, it is well because it's one of the trading centers of this country. Ho, we have been able to put up an airport. To open Ho up, we've been able to put up a university of health and allied science. We were able to build Ho markets. We were able to. So what again? You know, this mentality should stop. We are all Ghanaians.
It is a sad and dangerous mentality or a road to tread on. But still, we need to talk about it. And that is when you have supplied. You see, let me ask. When you have supplied water for a community that for decades or for time immemorial didn't have clean drinking water. You have started put on concrete and poured a lot of concrete to get them local hospital. All these are serious development. And if that community do not seem to acknowledge somehow very, I would say, ungrateful to some of these things. Why do you still?
No.
I'm a devil's advocate. Well, I need to ask.
No,
Why do you
no.
think you people will still have to be equitable with them and share the cake with them?
No. Giving time. Human beings appreciate things. Giving time. It is up to us who are doing those to go and be good advocates. Go to them. Probably the mistake is from us as a party of giving up because it's Ashanti MPP stronghold. So, but no, you have to go to them. You have to have a paradigm shift in how you yourself you do your things. But I believe that they are all Ghanaians. That is why we should stop discriminating against ourselves. Otherwise, we end up having a civil war. We should stop it. Look at Sudan. Look at the other countries, but because of discrimination. No. We have to make sure that every Ghanaian living everywhere enjoys the benefit of the country. That is good leadership. And the people eventually will appreciate. If you have given a person employment, and it's like when it comes to you remember who gave him the employment, giving time. But because we are dividing ourselves, that is why people don't appreciate what we do. And we should, as a
NFM
party,
Radio.
as a country, start behaving as we are all one people with one common destiny.
I see. What so far your national executives? How do you rate them? Maybe
they are doing well.
Satisfactory,
they are doing well.
unsatisfactory, excellent.
They are doing well.
Are they?
They are doing well. Under the circumstances, they just came into office November last year. We are in the 8th month of their stewardship. They've been able to have a presidential election, parliamentary elections, and I'm saying now they are going to appoint other officers, and then we take off. So under the circumstances, they've done well. It's just November, December, January, February, March, April. How many months? 6 months or so. Yeah, so it's too early days here, but their hands and feet are on the ground.
We can recall that clearly some of your members in the parliament defied party orders. And from where I'm sitting, I can see that the party has decided to let sleeping dogs lie. Do you think such attitude, this method will bring about reconciliation, or it will enhance the danger of making people, stubborn, knowing very well that they can misbehave and nothing will happen to them? Where do you stand on this?
No. They subjected themselves to elections, and elections have taken place. Some of them have been elected, some of them have not been elected. There will be a new dispensation, and that's I'm saying that going forward, the party will have to take cognizance of all these things, because when it comes to election time, you know what must be done, so that when you go to parliament, you know that you are going on the ticket of the party and not your own self. I'm sure when things that has happened, we learn from it and we find solutions to it. I'm very positive.
On the other hand, I was trying to ask, do you think the party should have acted or done something differently, acted swiftly, maybe some reprimand or something? Clearly, if you defy party orders, it's wrong.
You see, it was a secret ballot, and you couldn't identify all those people who did that. If it was easy to identify them all, but everybody says that I didn't do it, I'm not the one. All of them. So you are not able to pick out who and who did it. Whatever you do is by speculation.
I see.
You understand?
On that score,
yes.
What is the party doing to safeguard the interest of those those who plainly came out, or those who have been identified as doing right by the party, and now it looks as if they are going to fall into trouble. Is the party going to help in any situation?
No,
like that?
and currently nobody is going to fall into trouble. I've just told you they've all been subjected to elections.
Okay.
And people have been elected only a week ago. So now we have to charter a new course. That's why I'm saying that at the appropriate time, the party will meet and maybe a code of conduct and all the reason why some people rebelled will have to be looked at. And going forward, we have to do things that will not allow people to rebel. You understand?
On lastly, on this particular issue, do you think when we say we are letting sleeping dogs to lie, was it wise on the part of Muntaka to have brought that message, that comment, after his victory?
I don't want to comment on Muntaka. I'm saying that the party going forward will find solutions to these problems. People have their head feelings. People have their beliefs. But as a party, it is very important that given time, we sit down and charter a course that everybody will buy into it, and then we can move forward.
Is Mansa Musa right to say that what Muntaka did or said was really not very clever?
People criticize him for that. People did.
Okay.
But I am the one. I'm one person who does not like to criticize officials in public.
Why?
You understand?
Why not? When the official has soiled himself in public, you need to tell him to go and wash quickly.
You don't fund it. You find ways and means to resolve it. If your son, excuse my language, if your son poo-poo on your tie, do you cut it off?
No, you don't cut it off, you wash it quickly. You quickly give your son to the mother. Hey, mamile, hemo bi. Every creature can so baby. You see,
you are running away from it. You have to wash it. You don't say so, Baba. You have to wash it yourself.
You see, I see.
You have to wash it yourself.
Anyway, that's a good one. But on a serious note,
yes.
I think some will have to be re-educated to know that when a party takes decision and you are not in agreement, you got to come out in public. You got to let the party know you are not in agreement. The moment you keep quiet and you do otherwise, that is insubordination. In any book, you are in trouble.
I agree with you.
Anyway.
I agree with you.
All right. So moving on then. All in all, NDC. Look, I will tell you the truth that Akufo-Addo has got the courts, he has got the electoral commission, he has got the police, the proper army. They are professionals. They will stay neutral. But he has got some buga intrusion in the army he is going to use. He has got the media. What have you, the NDC, what have you got?
We've got the people of Ghana behind us. And when the people speak, no amount of machinations, it's all over the world. The green revolution, the white, every revolution, when the people come out, your guns will be silenced. You understand? So let us wait. Let us get there, and you see the wrath of the people. My brother, on that note, I want to ask permission to fall out.
Exactly. No, it is just 1 minute. 1 minute to what we call 9 o'clock here, and 1 minute to 8 o'clock in Ghana. You've done a marvelous job. No. I was going to, just fall you out anyway. But brilliant. Look, before you go, I will ask you behind closed doors for contact of your head office personnel. I need. What I want to do is have some permanent hearing or viewing on your system in your head office, if you know what I mean. either the hearing or the viewing. And I need to, or I will leave it in your hand to sort it out in your head office for me. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to say Soyan, but Coca, thank you very much. Oh, you are done, Jobo, and hopefully, what you are fighting for yourself, for your Ghana people, and for Ghana, God will grant it. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
God
Bye-bye.
bless you.
Bye-bye. Right. So that was Mansa Musa with Mr. Adekoka. He was the former NDC chairman for Greater Accra. Let's go for a short break. We'll be back.
Sesedi ye nam top connect so e mani sika de bagana ifi wiase afa na nyina ye ntia kapre ane aye free top connect amasika mani aye mrekra ye wohia ne se wo be download wo top connect app no e wo Play Store de ama wo Android phone ana se wo use iPhone so a ko Apple Store na download the top connect aye simple kra top connect wa man be bro aduonum so wo Europe, North America and Asia wo mane wo dofo sika fa top connect so a aye ntem na emre na mawa hoto so sesedi sika manye di foforo kra any top connect so we yan chechemu bia fra top connect e wo +442 081 6155 and a +442 081 761 600 +447 882 950 088 and nasa hwehwe top connect e wa befon tintenfidie nyina so top connect fasika mane wa dofo asumjemu a untia kapre top connect yensu ye die
Abusia, let me go straight to the point. We will find wada. Once you attack and send me says so, your work is here. Come air conditioner, and also dumb air conditioning, and said that more can no crane say. One funny papa and installation now, with everything called enterprise. Air conditioning installation at the Mawa, Odamo, a Rubia, Okanu, a never cold room, it's a cold stores, and a Bavia, you didn't see. I was saying, everything called enterprise. Every year, a nice one at your Mawa, a Rubia, no, but you made the Kadika. You install central air conditioning, split air conditioning, car air conditioning, never solar panels, also. You want a nice Eddie Mawa, or you be a busu straight, not to your body fee. So, what do you say? And our gas in a son, say you'll come with the another dear, and our cold store, dear. Nina, a very nice and quick, but we will be a yet the amount. Musa more bridge, Bobby sit down, or my canoe, and over to me, I'm afraid you can lie with so. Nearby install air conditioning, Nibiamamu. Frank +44 7508 650279. Oh, wager, adjacent Ghana Fire Service. Wow, France 0544 489 343 and 0302 906 276. Your website, everythingcode.org. And I send you email, kjamwako@yahoo.co.uk. Everything called enterprise, air conditioning, master, no.
NFM Radio.
Wana mutanen NDC da ke United Kingdom da Ireland chapter ina roƙon ku har wa yau ku vote ku ba chairman Akwa shi kada ne wanda in Allah ya yarda ya win ya zama chairman zai kawo welfare program da zai taimaka muku ya taimaka ma party mu. Daga cikin wannan welfare program dukkan member da ke neman taimako lokacin da ya shiga cikin masuwa abin da ya kama daga 50 pounds zuwa 400 pounds welfare program na ya tabbatar a baka a taimaka maka in Allah ya maka dalili ka biya wannan kudi. Bayan haka kuma dukkan memba da ke neman wani taimako sha'anin batun takardun shi ko wurin zama ya ajiye manya da lauyoyi da kowane lokaci kake neman advice ko kake neman wani lawyer da zai taimaka maka akan batun sha'anin zamanka a ƙasar United Kingdom shi kuma su bi bayan ka su taimaka maka su saya maka ka biya wani abu kadan da yake in ka je waje zaka doki lawyer ba da ka same shi haka nan ba. Muna roƙonka member NDC da ke United Kingdom ko Ireland in lokacin vote ya kai ka vote ka ba chairman Akwa shi kare ne wanda
Right. I'll come back to the advert soon or later on. I'll finish with Mr. Adekoka. So I need to ask one or two questions to any NDC member in the UK. Fortunately and very delightfully, I've got Madam Beatrice Asante. In fact, she wants to be the vice chairman for this chapter here in the UK, UNDC. Madam Beatrice Asante, good evening.
Good evening, Double M.
Right, I've just finished speaking to Mr. Adekoka. He was a former chairman of Greater Accra NDC. I was speaking for 1 hour, but the most important part of the conversation centered around apparently a problem is brewing in Greater Accra. He said that a lot of misunderstanding, a lot of infighting, because I asked him how many seats you got into the Greater Accra. He mentioned 20 out of, I think, 34. And he's saying if the top executive don't solve the problem, that, may come to haunt the NDC or something like that. Then, that brought about my thinking. Accra and Ghana NDC have their hands full with all these problems. Then we have UK in turmoil as well. This really isn't good, is it, ma'am? I mean, I want to say you, not you personally, but you NDC in UK.
Naturally, yeah.
You are not helping the cause, are you?
In every family, when there is problems, what normally happens is the frustration just comes out. This is more to do with different views, okay, and us being able to narrow it down. Currently, whatever is brewing in Ghana, because I really don't know the ends of Ghana's one, I really wouldn't be able to make an assumed.
No. Obviously, I wouldn't even expect you to, tell exactly what is happening. I'm not even asking that. But the fact that he said, and he has said it on this, everyone is listening, that we have a problem in Greater Accra. I was asking, I thought he was going to say, we are going to add more seats. But he rather came in to say, look, Musa, we have problem brewing. He's mentioned paying of monies here and there, everything. So all my question is that, if Accra or Ghana NDC have problems at home, it would have been better if we had peace in the UK, isn't it?
You see, UK is only a section of the diaspora, because when you look at all the other diasporas, America is even bigger. You've got Amsterdam, that they've got a conference that they're going to do. You see, I think it's more dotted around, and when you've got diasporas, or you've got a country whereby everybody's eager to win, I think the passion is so astronomical, yes, that I think when we settle down, I know that after the conference in Amsterdam, I think we'll be able to make headway. Sometimes when you look at people, everybody believes that their way is the best way. And I think moving forward with everything that they're doing to calm it down, I know that come at the end of this month, things would be sorted out, because we are actually looking at the big picture now. Do you understand?
And which one is?
The 2024 election. Because now we've actually got our flag bearer and we know what he can do. So with me, my belief is that we're going to throw our weight, and I really believe that after this conference in Amsterdam, I promise you that people are going to actually sit back, do you understand me, and then try and make sure that the issues which is winning and helping the people in Ghana is put forward. The thing is, one thing that is always said is one person is no bigger than the party.
Sure,
do you understand?
Sure.
And the party and the country Ghana is prominent. Do you understand? And it is necessary that it will get to a point when you've got parents and the child are misbehaving, it gets to a time whereby the parent puts their foot down.
Sure.
And I truly believe that things would be settled down in order for the 2020 elections, because we ain't got long to go. So all this stuff is more like, I don't know, men or women rubbing us.
So in any case, we will say that we'd wished this wasn't the case. Is that not it?
What wasn't the case?
That we wish Accra, not Accra, but UK was peaceful, and rather you were being sent out there to sort out problems instead of the other way around.
You know, we learn from our mistakes, and with different administrations. You see, the reason why I cannot put, I cannot actually tag anything is with different administrations. When you look at administrations, everybody runs there differently. They understand me. Sometimes one person thinks their way is the way,
yes.
But now they will look at it and say that, okay, probably there were things that we should have done a different way. Do you understand me? Because the bigger picture, you know, one thing that I've realized about us Black people is we wait to the last minute to identify stuff. Do you understand me? And it's not just even a Ghanaian thing, it's a Black thing. Do you understand me? And I believe that's why I'm saying that, you see, looking at it, I'm telling you that things will turn around so much that we would turn around. Yes, we were supposed to be the beacon, saying that we're supposed to sort things out. But when egos are involved or when things happen, everybody feels that their decision has to be the right one. Do you understand? And moving forward, I believe that there's anything that comes down eventually. You understand me? And I truly, truly believe, and you are right, we were supposed to be the people trying to steer the stuff, but unfortunately, we are where we are. And I'm not going to sit back and say that where we are is the best of places we need to be. But I believe that things are going to calm down. Do you understand me? And we'll definitely find a way. We don't even have an option on that. Unless we don't want a party in this country. Because we are only a finger of we are only a finger of the party. We are not the whole hand.
For the first time, I've got to be brutal with you and say, for the first time, you have scattered a bit, but scattered around it a bit. But well, it's not every time. It's not every day you can win or get straight from Madam Asante. But well, listen, I think you are just back from work and you are tired.
Trust me, I'm back from a long trip. I literally parked my car. I've not eaten. I am hungry.
You love Musa too much, and I really.
Babes, I love you. You know me and you.
Oh, no. The feel is mutual. It's completely mutual. Believe me. Listen, before you go, let me congratulate you that the crew you are with, I've seen them advertise that they are getting their system onto the Sky channel system. So congratulations. I've seen it and it's beautiful. It's good.
Thank you.
Well done to you guys. It raises the competition. Whenever we get our TV going, we will, the competition will be there. But for now, you guys have taken the lead, and I say congrats.
Thank you. That's Omega Live TV. Thank you so much for being us. Thank you.
Asante, you fancy her? Bye bye.
Double M, love you.
Bye.
NFM Radio.
Right. So the reason I ask Beatrice Asante those questions is that Adekoka, whom I spoke with not long ago, has reiterated that there is a problem in Greater Accra NDC. There's no peace as such. And for me, that is really unfortunate because I was thinking, we wouldn't have such problems in Greater Accra and that the problem is in UK. So according to Adekoka, they are waiting for Mahama is traveled, and when he comes back, then he will have to come and deal with the Greater Accra issue, which is a shame. I think the people in town should start dealing with that problem. I want to see if I can get somebody in Accra to speak, to ask one or two questions, what is going on, if I can get any one of the NDC people I can get in Accra. This is Mansa Musa, and this is what we call Fire Will Burn You. Fire Will Burn You.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio.
National Democratic Congress NDC no nyam former ne mema mo UK ni Ireland chapter no. Ya yedie then as say beto aba eyi chapter chairman fofo. Na hwede chinye no mum no koto on swear. Enyo nyam for Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man. The father say e dey party no enim kai. Odi amonyesema kutile ye, e we tu di hwese wa ofoma soro nkoso. Woni mu adwumade de e fa ne hotitru na esini nan so. Nwade bebre no de egu akwamu a obeye de amaye. Bini se o sigina ye esiko no dwumade bia be kire party office na odisika 3 pounds empemenum na ato ase. Eye 5,000 pounds. Osantwe maguo ne mama ho so 1,000 pounds na ebe she omudwumade mu kena na esigina ye. Dodon so a mekire afoforo omobetro omudin abeka party ne ho de omombra kura o omosebeka omudi card ententem so na atwe adom abeka ye ho eye bosume miense bia nso party mu mpanimfu a odi dwumade be hye omunse bia no obeto safro omwatena se na de ye de hye omunse no omebu ho aponta mako we di bebre na no be ya mayen yo onua se kwatre kwose be ma wontuma bisanidi Dr. Joe Ajimai, the restoration man, chapter chairman Yantumano.
The clergy and the religious distinct, when they speak, they shake the foundation. And it is only the church that will address meaningfully the canker going on. And they want to silence all credible voices. Now, today, we will reveal everything to you. This question has, direct relation with the pronouncements of Reverend Professor Marty. Let me tell you why people do not want Professor Marty to talk. Listen, they have tried. Politicians have tried all means to muzzle me, to get me, but they can't. They come with bribes, fat envelope, $100,000. Listen. I want everybody to listen. Politicians came to my house with fat envelope, $100,000, not cedis, dollars, and also with the promises that if you keep quiet, we will give you a house at Trazaco with swimming pool. You know what? We will give you 4-wheel drive. These people were lucky. I did not have big dogs in my house. Else I would have released the dogs to bite them for the whole world to ask, Papa Moderator, my boy one again. Papa Moderator, I then I would tell me now you release the dog. Then I will tell them, ask what they came to do. You know what? They have tried all means to muzzle me. They couldn't, and I tell you they can't. And you know what? I will speak today, I will speak tomorrow. You know the tax I pay, Osofo? Sometimes when this thing comes and I see the tax that I've paid, but at the same time I said, praise be to the Lord. We serve because it's going to build our nation. Then when my tax goes, you babies with sharp teeth, you are stealing the money and you don't want us to talk. We will talk today, we will talk tomorrow.
There is no genuine pastor in this country. Genuine. There's no pastor in this country, I may say. There's no single pastor. My Ghana nyankopon ebie na no kasa kire no. They are liars. They are doing business. obi agotina na sorry dem abie na sorry ye ne business na sebi previous a youth no mo Ghana so na mo agotina sa sorry dem na mo ton nkumbia bi mutumi ko to sofo calendar de bo simu dem say mo hia protection abra sa sofo no or bodyguard na mo ti krom ha and youth na mo man mo ha no. This is the time I was say ye be new Ghanaian youth, our eyes are opening. Senka sofu ni e genuine adena Christian counselor ye din na youth e wo man mo ha ye bre adena Christian counselor hudo ahemfo e wo krom ha. Everybody is quiet about what is happening. Crisis e wo man mo antinka ye wo sofu omu so omu dwin Ghana ho mu enyame ni papa nka sofu yo mu sori nkasa ma youth no. We don't have any genuine pastor in this country. We are in this country na sofu bibe shen come say shatawale wayarimpo anka wabewu. They are all in this country with lies. Black Stars kwako bo match na sofu bi di flyer bi ba out to say omuye fasting and prayers for Black Stars. Akosi saying group stage ukro mutimi pie. We are living in this country. Instead of saying pointing the mistakes to the government to say is distracting the people of Ghana. No, yes, I no. Now your flyers are who do say move bompire to Galamsey, move bompire to economic crisis in the country. Me say there's no genuine pastor in this country. So fu biani Ghana nyankopon kasachireno. They are all liars. Nobody. So fu biani or maimu they should come. I can prove to them that they are all liars. So fu biani kruma. So fu bi nim say nyankopon e frɛ na on kire ye na ebesi 2022 2023 on kire ye na ebesi 31st night ba afa no mbe hye omu nkwase ankom na ase na omu hye nkom se u maame na how u papa na how u bi dua bi asifie ho na how na mu distract youth na omu di nkonti ba de omu maame na omu papa no machi se omu.
Right, we'll continue with the soundbite, but let me go on to the phone and speak to one member of the NDC UK Ireland chapter. Her name, I call her Auntie Becky, because she's that welcoming lady. So all those ladies is known as Auntie. Affectionately, that's the way I call her. Becky Stone is a full name. Auntie Becky, good evening.
Good evening, Mansa Musa.
Right. I know you are very busy, but I just call you to just make some references with you. I interviewed Mr. Adekoka, and when I asked him, that how many seats NDC has got in Greater Accra, I was expecting a certain conversation, certain answers. So I asked him how many. He said NDC has got 20 out of 34. And I asked if he's sure he have to be, they have to protect that gain, or he thinks they are going to win more. And he said, no, Mansa Musa, I'm surprised you don't know, but there's a lot of problem in Greater Accra, a lot of things. He mentioned so many, money changing hands, misunderstanding, backbiting, a whole lot of. So after we spoke for 1 hour about so many things. In fact, he did very well. Then when he has finished with me, and I'm thinking, now let me ask those of you here locally with me here to share your view, the fact that the same Accra or Ghana that has its problems to sort out, now they have UK as well to think of. My question is, do you wish your problem have been sorted out long ago?
Okay, thank you very much. Before I go on to say anything, I would just like to say good evening to your viewers and good evening to all comrades all over the world. Every NDC member, every good-thinking Ghanaian who really want the good of the nation, I salute and I say good evening. Okay, now to your question. For me, I see our issue here as nobody's problem than our own problem. It's an internal elections that I think some people, through their own selfish means, they don't want us to have the elections. So for me, I don't see it as a problem. And if you can see, looking at the bigger picture, the problem, if you are a true NDC, you are a true Democrat, and you are a true, leader, or you are within this organization called NDC, and you mean well for Ghana, I don't think that this issue, is a big one, because Accra has given us all the guidelines. They have said everything. They have put in place our structures to ensure that this election goes on. It is just some people who are being, I don't know what to say. But having said that, we are looking at the bigger picture. We are looking at the victory of Ghana, not on NDC, but Ghana, because you and I can attest to what is going on in Ghana. Everybody is crying. Whether you are an NPP or you are an NDC, or you are not even an NPP, all the other parties,
NFM
those who
Radio.
are neutral, everybody, we are in the soup, in the bigger picture. So for me, that is what I'm seeing. And the big task is in Ghana. So if some people think they don't want us to have the elections, we are the losers. We here in the UK and Ireland chapter, we are the losers. We can do, I can sit here and I can be a positive impact in Ghana. But with what you have just said about Greater Accra, you see, we are going into election and we need those MPs. We need those seats. So that is the big headache for me, not an Ireland chapter.
You made the point. You made a point. Today is what, Friday? Yesterday, I asked a question, your colleague who was here, that I've heard Accra has sent a paper, and if everything goes well, and Accra says, okay, we have checked everything, we have read through all the grievances, we have checked everything, now this is our, how do you call it? This is our report or our recommendation that the election should go ahead. Will everybody accept what Accra says? Before I tell you the answer, the same question to you. If Accra says we've gone through everything now, the election can go on, will you be satisfied and agree for the elections to go on?
Thank you very much. You see, I would like to say this, and I would like to commend some individuals. Somebody like Dr. The recent presidential and parliamentary. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, you broke away a little bit, but just keep. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, so I would like to comment. That's why I mentioned earlier on that if you are a true Democrat, if you really think about Ghana, whatever the outcome is, I think we should move on. We should move on, because even the comrades here, members here are confused. They don't know what is going on. We don't know. Branches are not holding, branches that have elected executives, they can't do any activity. I think it is time. And last Saturday, we did a health walk in commemoration.
I think I saw a clip of it on Facebook. Yeah.
Yes. I tell you that thing that we did, the people that came, comrades that came, will attest to that fact. it was a huge success. And people were able to release some stress. People were able to, have a positive energy to rejuvenate their mental health. And that alone was amazing. We need to move on. We need the branches to work. We need chapter to work. But what I want to say is, woe betides us that we choose the wrong executives. We will be doomed. Ghanaians recently in the just ended internal elections. Ghanaians show us the way. We who are in the diaspora, who should know better, we have been here and we experience all the positive political atmosphere. We should rather send the good example, but Accra and Ghana as a whole have set good example. So what I'm saying to our comrades here is that make sure you look at the candidates who have the right skill set. Look at their manifestos, what they are bringing on board. Look at their leadership styles, the type of leadership qualities that they have, and choose the right people. That is all I'm going to say. Because drag this election, it has caused a lot of us, even mentally, emotionally, physically. People are drained. So I will be very happy for the elections to go on.
For me, sitting and watching from outside, can I ask you that if any of the candidates is chosen, will it be the right candidate?
That is, I leave it to the good people of UK Ireland. I leave it to them. I know, we have intellectuals, we have people who can read and they can tell who is a good candidate and who is not. So they will make the decision. And I'm really happy.
Obviously, Mansa Musa is not a good candidate, I think.
Who can tell? I mean, we can't. I mean, I can't say you are not a good candidate. But I'm really happy that this election has dragged on till this time. We are seeing, you see, a good person will always be a good person. And a bad one, when they pretend, as time goes on, their true colors will emerge. You will see the type of people they are. And I'm really grateful to the Almighty God that in some way, the dragging of this election has been a blessing in disguise.
We hope things will work out. But before you go, let me ask you quickly about national issue. I mean, NDC, but not here. I think it is time. People are saying it is time to bring out the conversation about Mahama's running mate. I, Mansa Musa, think going forward, Mahama should have a running mate much, much younger, savvy in politics, charismatic and everything. And I think NDC has those people in abundance. So what do you reckon? What do you think?
I think John Dramani Mahama is an experienced man and he knows the task ahead of him. So when the time comes, I mean, we will get the right person, just as he did. And even the late founder, Jerry John Rawlings, may his soul rest in peace. I mean, John Mahama brought a candidate without any dent. Even the opposition were struggling to find issues about the running mate. And this time around, I trust his judgment. He's going to bring out the best. And one thing about John Dramani Mahama is that he is somebody who always works in consultation. He works in collaboration with people. He doesn't just come out to make his own decisions. So at the right time and with the guidance of God, I know the right person will emerge, and together we will fight and bring Ghana back on track.
Brilliant, brilliant. This answer, is it from the bottom of your heart, or is a political answer?
No, it is. It is.
What is it?
Because
Political answer.
All
right. I will leave you alone. Your comrades, two of them went to Accra or Ghana, and they succeeded in becoming candidates for parliamentary election come 2024. I think that is a very welcome development, you would say?
It is indeed. And I would like to use your media to once again congratulate them. I mean, they are Simon. He is my communication officer, and he is a fine gentleman, very hardworking, very honest, and he is a visionary man. The same with our sister Kukua. I mean, they fought well and they've won. And this is a huge credit to the UK and Ireland chapter. And I wish them all the best in the come 2024 elections, that we're going to have two of our own from here emerging as parliamentarians. Thank you very much.
On that positive note, I will thank you two very much for your time. I never planned it. It's just impromptu. You are at work, we are busy, but you've given me, instead of 10 minutes, almost how many? So many of them. Let me see. 16 minutes you have given me. Thank you very much. And hopefully this won't be the last time. Maybe the next time you would have finished with your elections and everybody is laughing and congratulating and everything. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Have a good evening. Good evening to you all.
NFM Radio.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Right, so Becky Stone is a member, I think he's a vice women's organizer here in the UK for the NDC. You heard him answering some few questions here and there from me. This was unplanned, sort of. I just called her out of the blue to, put in some questions here and there. One friend, I don't think I saw you and I didn't say it in the American. Anyway, sign free. Na me know Ebekasa. Let me see if I can get the sitting or the current chairman of the NDC UK Ireland. The current chairman. Who is the current chairman? He's still here, isn't he? The current chairman is Mbamba, isn't it? So, Mbamba, let me see if I can get Mbamba to come and have a word. Because what is happening in Accra is something that needs to be discussed. Right, so if I can get Mbamba, that would be sweet. But going on to substance, Ekufuado is going around talking about borrowing. Odri hwa ontiasi o me ntiasi say abanisa say obi bu man na onfa hwe nye hwe ye kan kasa bi so onfa boge enye swine ya bobusia sa mankrofo say yentumi ntua na say obi de sika be show asia o so say betua ko bobusia biom. What is this guy thinking? I mean, what is he really about? I mean, those following him and advising him, does he really believe that what he's doing or what he has been doing with our monies, the way he's handling it, is in the interest of Ghana? Does he really believe this, or he doesn't know what it's about? Because if he did believe that what he's doing, the way he's managing the economy, the way he's handling affairs, is in the interest of Ghana, that means somehow I would say he's deranged. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You don't create so much debt. You don't borrow and borrow and borrow and think that just because you personally will not have to pay, so it is okay to borrow. Someone will have to sit Ekufuado down and talk to him. I saw him on this world stage, sitting there answering questions, feeling small and feeling big, and talking as though he's doing something good and Ghanaians are happy. Look at Akufo-Addo going to this Africa Day celebration or this meeting to go and tell Africans that, oh, what they need to do is to do more farming, agriculture. I mean, this should have been said, or it was said in 2016. And as Akufo-Addo is lecturing every African on the continent, one would have thought that in his hometown, Ghana, there is enough food for everybody to eat at a very cheap price, or say affordable prices. One would have thought that, compared to other countries in Africa, Ghana is better. Can we really say that? A lot of debt borrowing, lot of debt, which has been pushed under the carpet. Recently, or until recently, people were rumoring, it was being rumored that accounting was being done in such a way to hide the true figures, the true facts of where we stood. According to Kennedy, Foriata, 2018, 19, 20, 2020, thereabout, all the presentation to Parliament showed that Ghana was not in trouble. People like Adongo, Atufose, and the rest of them were pointing out to Ghanaians that, hey, the way these guys are doing the accounting, it isn't right. It's something missing, something strange. We need to find out. And they were dismissed. Those cries and concerns were dismissed outright. Because if you have the media on your side, it is what you say is what they take, or what they will just, relay to the public. And so all the warnings that being given by Atufosin and the rest of them just fell on deaf ears. Today, almost everything that the critics were saying about Ghana's economy, almost everything has come to be true, unfortunately. That we are bankrupt. And we are bankrupt not because of Ukraine war, not because of COVID. You cannot be bankrupt when you are not trading. Huh? You are not trading. Okay, trading is not going on. So how do you be bankrupt? Trading it's not going on, so you are saving your money. You are bankrupt. You become bankrupt when you are not trading and yet you are borrowing. So it is the borrowing which has set us, our economy into such, shambles, It's not, you see, the truth, the humility, with, the lack of humility that this government, Akufo-Addo and his people exhibit. They feel so proud. They feel so proud to admit mistakes. Even not talking about faults or incompetence. When we say mistakes, even that, Akufo-Addo and his cousins and brothers, they think they have not made any mistake at all. Ghana as we are, no big man, no chief executive, no head of department. Nobody has done anything wrong. Auditor General will come out with figures showing that monies cannot be accounted for left, right, and center. And nobody is answering any question. Nobody is answering any question. And that's why I want to appeal to the NDC that they should, propagate the news that their number one, I repeat, their number one focus should be on corruption. The mantra, the news, the message should be on anti-corruption. Because if and when anyone, any government can control the country, bring some discipline, and stem out corruption 50%, the country will be fine. The economy will stay in its place. If we are to stop a little bit of the loopholes for people to steal, people to take money from the state, use clever accounting, use, substitutes and some sort of associates and the branch of some companies, subsidiaries here and there. You know, somebody is in public office, then his wife or her husband or a friend, they form a company together, register it, and they siphon government money through that company, make themselves very rich. Meanwhile, even the job that they're supposed to do will not be done properly. If we are able to stem out this corruption, this type of corruption, the country will be fine. The economy will come back to health. I mean, they see, because the whole problem is our economy is not being controlled by people back at home. We don't control our economy. We have given ourselves to these Westerners, the neoliberal economics taking place in the streets of Paris, Britain, and America. And those people, if you follow them, it's all niceties, nice. I mean, it's all beautiful. It's all wearing of suit and tie, because their ideology is that one person can be zillionaire, billionaire, millionaire, zillionaire, 100 billionaire, and you can gather all the monies. Then you start dropping little bits and bit to the ordinary people. That is the mentality. That's the principle in the West. But any proper country, especially ours, we should base on the communal sort of activity. I mean, our economy should be geared towards, making everyone live or exist in relatively comfortable way. That should be the way we should build our economy. Because if we want to build an economy like it's happening in the US and in Britain, where we have somebody who has about $200 billion, and you see so many people sleeping rough on the streets, on the sidewalks and everything, this is not a proper society. This is not something that, as a country, you wear your suit, you hire a private jet, and you'll be going up and down everywhere. You hire private jet and be going up and down everywhere. And your people are struggling, as Adekoka said. If you leave the cities and go into the hinterlands, you see, and this particular story has not started just today. It has been there since I was a kid. Since I started following politics and we had to go leave Accra to go to places, it was that, it was an eyesore. It has still continued. Instead of, having leaders who actually want to think and work for other people to, to lift them a little bit. No. Our leaders today are following the Westminster, sort of activity. That economy, which is based on a good credit rating so that they can give you money, they can borrow you money. Good credit rating so that they can borrow you money. That is the economy. The economy that, which was devised or were devised by these Americans and Britain, because Britain, they haven't got anything to sell. When the Industrial Revolution started, they started making vehicles, machines, and the rest. Now, when the competition got higher and other countries started doing same, Britain, now felt like they have to use their brain to make money. So they brought in these services like law, mostly law, mostly civil, all those sort of things that you can think of. How to arrange things to, to do other things, that sort of thing. They don't have proper, minerals and the things to sell, as we do. We have it. So why don't we build our economy on that? Why do we just have to go to the bond market and borrow? And when you borrow too, instead of using the money to do some, tangible, proper things that can bring returns, can bring profit, instead of doing that, we don't do that. In the end, the Chinese, they will be very, they are right to think that they have to come and capitalize or leverage on some of our few, money-making sectors, or the things that we have, like our mineral deposits and the rest. They will keep it for 10 years or so. We hear the electricity company or corporation, Chinese are coming to run it. And Akufo-Addo, I read somewhere sitting down saying, oh, he doesn't worry at all if Chinese get involved in Ghana's economy. When I read this, and I'm thinking, where is the sovereignty now? Huh? Where is the sovereignty about we? Where is the sovereignty of? Where lies the country itself when your president says that he doesn't mind if other jurisdictions are involved in your economy. Okay, thank you. You see, we are in all sort of troubles that people are not genuinely discussing. In Ghana, the media is somehow, polluted, discredited. It's nothing to write home about. It's all about Nkwasi SM. You go and sit down, somebody is they are talking about how many women have how many men, how many women at the age of 25 have slept with how many men. It's all this bullshit, especially the Akan language radio station and the rest. They are talking rubbish. Meanwhile, very important, issues that needs to be discussed are not being touched. We pray that one day there will be that regime that will bring, some sort of that needed discipline back into our society. Somebody say, what a mistake of a president. Borrow. Akufo-Addo likes borrowing. Akufo-Addo likes borrowing. And really, it is not on. It is not proper. I want to see if I can get this one to... there is something I wanted to let you guys know. Okay. Let's see.
Now, we believe that it is going to provide us with a foundation for redirecting.
Let's see if I can play this clip. Akufo-Addo talking about how the IMF they've come with money, so according to him, it's being redirected to make some more borrowing. Let's see if we can find it.
Making sure that the macro indices that you are looking for are in the right direction. All of these are the ones that consume the time. But nevertheless, it's over. And now we believe that it is going to provide us with a foundation for redirecting the economy, for repositioning the Ghanaian economy, firstly, to regain the macro stability that had been lost. Secondly, to be able to have a better control over important data like interest rates, inflation, and then finally also to position us to be able to go back into the international capital market, which had been a source of funding for us for the first 3 or 4 years of our government.
Do you see that happening soon? Because I know your finance minister said there's no rush to get back.
There's no rush to get back, but nevertheless, obviously, why not? Can we not take advantage of global savings? It makes a lot of sense to be able to do that.
Hey, Adodi, so you want to take advantage of some other people's...
Right. That was a clip. Akufo-Addo saying that now that IMF has come to help us, we have to take the advantage to go back a borrowing. I used to have a head teacher who used to say this: who goes a borrowing goes a sorrowing. Okay. All right. Hello, Kwesi.
Yeah, Mansa Musa.
I was just about to play my signing off music. So, what has brought you here?
No, thank you so much. I was on the meetings. I just tuned on to your station and you were playing Nana Akufado's tapes. Now, let me, just a quick one. I think I listened to Becky as well. She spoke well. Well done, Becky.
So okay, so obviously you missed Adesoya.
No, I missed a lot.
Yeah, Adesoya's message was the one that is serious because he spoke about problems NDC is facing in Greater Accra. He said they have massive problems over there. So that is the reason why I even called Becky to ask. And I called BT Shasanti as well. That, I mean, they would wish that you guys didn't have any problem here. So that Accra people can, Ghana people can concentrate on issues at home. But now they have to concentrate issues in UK as well. And that really is not clever, is it, Kwesi?
No, Mansa Musa, you said it right. Yeah, it is not clever. I agree. I think I mentioned it once before. The other day, you called one of the candidates. He came on air. He was talking about prejudicial, all this rubbish, Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa, what is happening is that Accra has appointed an interim committee to go through the chapter mess. So we are all waiting for the chapter interim committee to produce their report, Mansa Musa. When the report is produced, some of us will have to go onto the round table. Then we listen to the full report. Anybody who asks is God, some of us are going to demand that people should be dragged into a discipline committee. No one is above the law in this party called NDC. Any individual who have caused this party mess within the UK here, some of us are going to push for discipline committee. At least individuals should understand that, Mansa Musa, when you belong to an entity or a political party, they are disciplined in it. They are code of conduct.
But my question I asked Becky and I've asked Joe and I'm asking too is, it looks as everyone has got something to say that something must be done. But my question is, if Accra comes to say, look, we have looked through everything and we have come to a decision that elections should go on, are you, Guy, for instance, are you yourself going to insist that no, we need to punish people who have done so and so?
No, Mansa Musa, if Accra come and say that, look, we have received the report, and based on the report, fact-finding and everything in it, we believe that the election should go ahead. However, after the election, the new executives, whatever they think it is right must be done, fine. But like I'm telling you, Mansa Musa, if me, I become the chairman of the chapter, I wouldn't like to inherit any mess. I would have wished that any mess which is within the system is cleaned before some of us take the nod. But however...
But see, that too is not, I don't think it is a demand well made, because that's why people will think you are clever enough to come and make the changes. Otherwise, if you want the changes to be made before you come and inherit...
Mansa Musa, one of my manifesto calls for reforms. My system is that the whole entire system must be reformed, irrespective of whatever it is in place. This chapter, we have to really, let me tell you a history here. This chapter, no chairman has served more than one term of 4 years. Even those who performed well, they did not serve more than one term. So our current chairman has served his term. We thank him. He should move on. So that when we finish and we get this chapter reformed, then we bring the unity that this chapter needs. Okay? We are ready to reform this chapter. However, we are waiting for the report. That is what we are all waiting. Mansa Musa, let me come to Nana Akufo-Addo and NPP and Ghana. Will you give me that permission for a few minutes? I know it's your time to sign out.
Okay, go ahead.
Good. I hear that they are now talking of agriculture and farming. Is that the case? Is that now that NPP political party, they are talking of agriculture of Ghana after 6-7 years in power, when they have used Galamsey to destroy all the lands? Musa, you see, sometimes when some few political selfishness, individuals want too much money for themselves and their family, they don't care about the others. They don't care about the state. Mansa Musa, this amount of water bodies that this NPP government has destroyed, do they know how many people live on the water line? How many people use that water for agriculture and other things? That because of Galamsey, Musa, they have destroyed all the water bodies. Now they are talking about agriculture. I don't blame them, Musa. I blame Ghana media. Ghana media, they are part of our problems. If Ghana media have taken this government on, they have challenged them, certain policies, other things, Musa, we won't be where we are today.
NFM
it has been bizarre, Ghana media. Some of us are highly disappointed. Some of them call themselves senior journalists back home. They know very well that what this government is doing is not good. But because of Bayenia, Bro, Mansa Musa, they are destroying the nation. Sure, Musa, Nana Akufo-Addo, he is a Ghanaian. He is just a Ghanaian who became a political leader. He begged Ghanaians to vote for him. Ghanaians voted for him. He became president. The same thing somebody too can go and say that, look, I'm also Ghanaian. I want to go and lead a political leader, and I want people to vote for me. Musa, when you get the opportunity to go onto that position, you serve the people. You make sure the roads are well connected. You make sure that housing is well connected. Musa, water and electricity, those are the basic fundamental principles. Musa, Rwanda was destroyed 1994. The whole Rwanda
NFM
went
Radio.
into civil war. That country was destroyed from up to toe. Now go back to Rwanda. Ghana, we can't even compare ourselves to Rwanda. What a shame, Mansa Musa. We call ourselves Democrats. Ghana was the first African continent to have independence. 1957. See where we are. Musa, where are the technocrats in Ghana? Where
NFM
are they?
Radio.
Those technocrats, the academicians, where are they? The Christian councils, the big men, where are they? The big men in Ghana. So they can't
NFM
talk to the
Radio.
government that, look, Mr. President, Mr. Government, the Ghanaians are suffering. Mr. Government, the teachers are suffering. Mr. Government, suffering. So please sit back, go to a conference, bring people onto the round table, and let's discuss the problem. What is our problem? Now we want to depend on IMF. Musa, Sika Ahenkwana Yenjindi or Ghana. How much dollars haven't we chopped in Ghana? Now it is IMF 3 billion that will come and save Ghana, Mansa Musa. Mansa Musa, is it only 3 billion of IMF? Oh, what a shame, Mansa Musa. Kwame Nkrumah's Ghana. It's so bad, Mansa Musa. We have used politics to destroy the country. I am a politician, yes, but Musa, let me tell you this. When you Ghana first, you know where I stand. So let me tell you that, look, whatever it will take for us to make sure that we tell whoever, we beg John Dramani Mama, if the good Lord himself opened the doors for him to take the opposition and come, anybody who has messed the country, Mr. President, go after them. Anybody who has taken the money from the state, let them account for it. Because the country Ghana belongs to Ghana. Individuals who have stolen from the state, we need to look for them, Mansa Musa. Enough of the rubbish. Musa, it is time that we Musa, you know what? It doesn't have to take only journalists in Ghana to make sure that they speak to people like yourself, Kevin Taylor, and others. You are doing a good job. Speak direct to the politicians back home. If me, Kwesi, I become a minister or something and you have to speak to me, Mansa Musa, you guys should feel free to speak to Kwesi. See, your government is not doing what you have to do. Musa, Ghana belongs to Ghanaians, the citizenry, not few individuals. What is going on? It is very bad. Musa, It is time that, please, we put things right. So I listen to you. This farming business should have gone on long time ago, Musa. But now Ghana we have used the farming in such a way that mechanization. We have a young people, graduates, they move them into agriculture. Then the government will support them with mechanization. We have mechanized centers so that people can produce for the country. Then we export those fresh items. But we are interested in galamsey. That's quick money. Musa, quick money, galamsey. MPP galamsey. That is all what they came to do, MPP. They've come to Ghana to destroy the nation. Yesterday, my brother came there. He came and sat on your radio. Now he's talking about the NDC, UK, and Ireland. What did you hear? Okay, the Omeyanko, okay, Michelle. About a UK, Ireland NDC politics. Okay, and galamsey now what's that with Ghana, Musa? And you allow him to say, can you arrange a match between myself and Ofake? To be interesting, Musa, please.
Okay.
Hello, Musa, are you there?
All right, we'll think about it.
No, think about the time of Ofake that I'm ready for him. He should come back again.
Okay.
Yes, tell Ofake that, look, he should come and account for the state. The colossal billion of cities and dollars they've collected for, we beg them. What have they used those money for in terms of infrastructure? How much percentage of the quantum of the money collected invested in infrastructure? They should come and account for us.
Okay.
They should come and show us. Those are the things we want to know, Mansa Musa. We beg
savings.
Them. Thank you so much. I think I listened to the last tape, and it's not good enough, Musa. The way the nation is going. In fact, some people back home should sit down. President Nana Akufo-Addo is gotten less than 2 years. He will have to hand over and go. The same God Ghana will still be there. Ghanaians will still be in that country. We want better Ghana, Mansa Musa. We want Martin say once a vice president also wants to be president. I mean, you are part of this mess. What do you think we can do? You see, the problem we have is this sort of mess we are going through, the type of vote that we get from Ashanti region, it's part of the problem. So we beg them.
All right.
We need to change our hands.
Okay.
So, Musa, I catch up with a case of Michelle that he should pray for me. If the UK and Ireland voters give Kwesi the nod, that Kwesi come and lead us. Myself and Wafake, I want us bring us to your station. Master, that day no be episode station. Okay. May the good Lord bless you and bless your station, Master. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
NFM Radio.
Right, so this is where we will bring the curtains down for tonight. Hopefully tomorrow everything will be done all over again. Tomorrow, let me remind you that that very lovable, likable, engaging historian is in Accra or is in Ghana. Lawyer Anochi Frimpong has agreed in principle to come and lecture us, tell us about independence, pre-independence, and the rest. So don't miss tomorrow's program. It's going to be very, very enlightening. Have a good evening. Cheers.
Wara. Make a share, I'm a sewa. About FM. I'm done, I'm a summer done. I'll tell you where. Yeah, about FM. Oh, Emiara. It's a more constrama, sewa. Make a catch the yo. In you, never see. And hum, there you go. Now, Sam, look, and I remember. Listen, Emmy. I'll tell you, oh, Emmy, oh. This is my Paco Bra. Message number 10. Run a mebwa, Mobama guitar. Makamasa, the show there. Sipete, oh, Santo. Emmy, music. Yeah, Emmy, oh. Tonyo, Agoyatawa. Mary Mabuzo. Oh, Mary, oh. Oh, Mary, Mary, oh. Mary Mabuzo. Mary, 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 Mabuzo. Agoyatawa. Oyatawa. Oyatawa. Paso Mansa, yenga zambo. Paso Mansa, yenga zambo. Paso Mansa, yenga zamburo. Agoyatawa. Oyatawa. Oyatawa. Oh, Mary, oh. Mary, oh.
NFM Radio. NFM Radio. Emu da ho.
Menia, tie fire will burn you. Ewo NFM Radio. Jumedi Mansa Musa ede bro. Ejuada kopem memne da.
Enumre non son ekopem non du.
Listen to Fire Will Burn You on NFM Radio with Mansa Musa Monday to Saturday,
7 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Fan and Mobra, when I mean ya drink sacra, when I mean and was some too much saco contact crack. Hear me a ye, at ye my free debbie a sutie, when ya mean pessi, but when in the Honabi Wakuma Mutuho, ya Odonia Humobra, and ye second that's why I soon get a bobo. Kakrabia when he saw Dino Krenaya Moto, I think